HealthCap's Resource and Education Center provides users with the latest information and educational tools to improve resident outcomes and reduce risk. It is an open source library, meaning anyone can use the information to modify or share as they like, under the condition that you attribute HealthCap and you indicate if changes were made, but not in a way that indicates HealthCap endorses you or your use. In our library, you will find best practices and policy examples, educational webinars, many accredited by ANCC and/or NAB, helpful outside links, Angie's blog, and our podcast. Begin by setting up an account. If you are an RN or administrator, be sure to include your license number and NAB ID to receive CEUs. Users are responsible for ensuring their license number is on file and correct to ensure that CEUs are awarded. If you're not an RN or administrator, you can just enter NA in these fields. On the home page, you will find 8 widgets where you will find our education and materials. Our COVID library has almost 750 documents, including sample policies, infographics, and education to help you navigate the COVID pandemic. Explore different types of documents, including PPE, staffing, vaccines, and more. Of course, there is more going on in our facilities than just COVID. The Manuals and Toolkits, Policies and Best Practices widget contains information and sample policies on a variety of topics, such as elopement, active shooter, dementia care, and more. There are more than 30 ANCC accredited and more than 10 NAB accredited webinars currently available in our Resource and Education Center, and this number is continually growing. In addition, we will be adding ANSWB accredited education soon. All webinars are free of charge to all users. Once a webinar is completed, users will take a quiz. A score of 80% or higher is required to pass. Many of our webinars include a survey. We ask that you complete these in order to help us improve our educational experiences. Once the quiz and survey are complete, the certificate should automatically pop up. Users can enter their license number, then view and print their certificate. In addition to our accredited education, we have a large library of non-accredited education for your direct care staff. Most webinars are about an hour long and can keep your staff up to date with topics such as disaster preparedness, medication management, infection control, and resident-centered care. We have live webinars several times a year, which allows users to ask questions of the experts in real time. Any live webinars we have scheduled will appear in this section. In our research, we come across valuable information that facilities should be aware of. Most sources of this information are the CDC, CMS, AHRQ, and NIH. However, there are a lot of other valuable resources available too. You can find links to all these resources under our Outside Resources section. Did you know we have a blog? Angie Shemlinsky, our Director of Risk Management Services, writes several blogs each week with information and insight into the senior living industry. You can find a link to her blog here on our homepage. We also have a podcast, Heart to Heart with HealthCap, where we interview industry experts on the latest news and information affecting the industry. You can subscribe to our podcast through Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify Podcasts, to name a few. A link to our podcast library is also available on our homepage. If there are any specific topics you are looking for, you can use our keyword search. Simply enter a term, for example, arbitration, and all resources pertaining to that term will appear. In this instance, we have a webinar, 2 videos, and 2 podcasts that talk about arbitration. You can also leave the keyword search blank, and it will return all documents on the site, with the most recent showing first. This is a quick way to see what's new. We hope that you'll take the time to explore our resources and find them useful. We believe that when the whole industry improves, we all benefit. If you have any suggestions or questions, feel free to contact us at info@healthcapusa.com.